to be a good thing today. And one of my sisters house. And then we are going. What's going on YouTube? It's Kevin McCall. We are back with a new video. Let me tell you something, this little ass cold that's trying to beat my ass is not going to beat my ass today on this video. I want to say thank you to everyone who watched the previous video. Thank you for sharing our video on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram. Wherever you share that videos, text messages, thank you for watching. Also, make sure you start the video off clicking that thumbs up button, which is the like button beneath this video. If you're at your computer, click the like button. If you're on your phone, click the like button. If you're on your tablet, click the like button. If you're watching on your Xbox, so you play it, there's the like button that you can click to like it. So this week, I'll give you an update for this week. The house is almost finished. It's like really almost finished. I was there today, and I just had to hurry up and get out. Cause it's no need for me to be there now until it's just fully done. So I'm just very grateful for that.
Give us an update on that.
I'm giving another one because it's 3 days later.
No, shit, this week I'm doing that. I couldn't hear me to that.
Yeah, so it's the tiles are down on the third floor, like all on the third floor, the second floor, that's all they tiled up. So now they have to put the floor down, which I'm excited about. And I'm excited about getting back home. Because I feel like, these past 2 months I feel like I've been out of it a little bit, but I can't be out of it, you know what I'm saying? So everything is almost back to normal. I'm just ready to get back to me and get back to, making this show better and everything. That's my real plans and all that stuff. But yeah, I want to start off all sad and stuff. So yeah, that's just a little quick update for y'all. And my mom is waiting to come back to talk to you guys. Definitely, she's ready to talk to you guys. What else happened this week? Bill Cosby in LA, he will not be charged for 2 lawsuits that has been filed against him. One for a Playboy Bunny thing that happened back in 2008. They said there was not enough evidence to support her statement. And with Janice Dickinson, not enough to support her statement. And she was dismissed too. So when it comes to Bill Cosby and these new charges in California, he will not be charged with new allegations against him in court. He will not be charged for his wife, Camille. They were, the prosecutors was trying to make Camille Cosby give a deposition. She really didn't want to do it, so she asked to have it postponed, and the judge okayed it to be postponed. And for Bill Cosby is supposed to go to trial, not the trial, but like a hearing on January 14th. That also has been pushed back. And during the midst of all this, Malcolm Jamal Warner stated in an interview that he doesn't feel that the Cosby Show should have been taken off the air. I agree. Even though, this happened with Bill Cosby. I agree. And a lot of people feel that way, but then again, you know how people can be, why would they want to show this rapists on television and, all this and that.
Well, and I'm not, because y'all know how I feel about the whole Bill Cosby thing. I think that he's guilty of some of the charges, and I think that he should be charged. But at the same time, you say that about Bill Cosby, but if memory serves me correct, Seventh Heaven is still on TV.
It's not still on TV.
It's not? Can you find it?
No. What happened was the network that it came on, it came back on like last year. But then because they felt like their audience could look past the character versus being his real self being a rapist. And so they took it off after like a week or so.
They thought that the audience could look past?
Yeah. Because they said that they polled their audience, and then once it was on TV again, everybody went into an uproar. So it's not.
So they gave Stephen Collins a chance to be polled.
For their audience. For that, it was a gospel network.
Isn't that interesting?
Yep. So I
they gave Stephen Collins a chance to be pulled, but then they immediately took Bill Cosby on.
Yeah.
And Stephen Collins admitted out of his own mouth that he touched a little girl some years ago.
Yeah. A long time ago, and that went on for a long time.
And it went on for a very long time. He started in the 70s, and it went on for a very long time.
But you get into it. So I just, I feel like the Cosby Show. I think, if y'all want to punish him for now, okay? But bring back that show. That show is a classic. Just because you do something in your personal life does not mean that it should take everything away from all the things that you have done. Because I feel like, because Bill Cosby put a lot of people through college, helped pay for a lot of people's colleges, did a lot for colleges, donated so much money, made so many programs better. And now it's just like, oh, we want to take them out of this, oh, we want to take them out of that. It reminds me of how when Janet Jackson, when her chest, when that whole Super Bowl thing came out, all people wanted to take back awards, take back this, take back that, cover her face up. It was just like, all this over a goddamn titty. Now, I can understand, but let's not forget the things that Bill Cosby has done as well. Even though he has a dark past that, that's alleged, and that has yet to be proven in a court of law. Just like y'all say, with the R. Kelly thing, well, he didn't get charged for, but bitch, we seen him on the camera. We know that stuff. But it still don't stop the record from getting signing on their label and stuff. So, it's just getting crazy. But I really love his lawyer, Monique Presley. And of course, she released a fair statement about what happened. I don't know why I'm really liking her. Like, if you ever in legal trouble, and you're on the defense, I think getting her would be the best bet. Or someone like her, someone that really loves what they do and know what they're talking about instead of some of these lawyers. Because I've seen defense lawyers, and I've been on 2 trials, and I've never seen a lawyer as aggressive as she is to prove that her client is not guilty. So,
well, she's doing her job.
Yeah, I meant that her client is guilty. I'm sorry.
She's doing her job.
Yes.
I would expect for her to be, out there as the spokesperson and the legal spokesperson for Bill Cosby. That's what she's getting paid to do. So I wouldn't expect her to do anything other than that. But at the same time, like I said on Monday, we have to pay very close attention to how his team has put out one of his lawyers or whatever. She's not his only lawyer, is she?
I think that's her firm, the Presley firm.
But it's interesting that they have her, a female, doing all the talking for him. And because it gives you, it plays into the minds of people out there that, some people who don't really think too far, or not really strong-minded, would look at them and say, well, there's no way on earth that this strong, smart, intelligent black woman would represent someone who would break people. And that's the mind games that they're playing with you. And it's good. It's working because I see a lot of people on social media who are just praising, what's her name? Monique Presley. And she's doing a great job. I mean, she's getting these reporters and journalists together whenever she's doing these interviews. She really is doing a great job with defending her client. And I agree with you. If I was ever in trouble, I would want somebody like her on my side to defend me because she knows all the right things to say. And she knows how to get somebody together. Now, just because she's on Bill Cosby's side and she's his mouthpiece and she's his legal, advisor or his lawyer, does that mean that he's innocent? Not at all. But it does mean that he's very smart in picking someone like her to represent him. So kudos to you, Mr. Cosby.
Yes. And I seen this interview with D.L. Hughley. He was talking about how Bill Cosby, how the power that he has is really real.
Yes.
Because he didn't like Bill Cosby, him and these comedians, like what people saying and stuff. But he was just talking about how he let, whatever radio show he had, he let the 2 female co-hosts interview Bill Cosby. And then he ended up saying something, and Bill Cosby got smart with him, and he got smart back with Bill Cosby. And he made up, he didn't make it up, but he was talking about how Bill Cosby, the women be leaving his room all intoxicated and things like that. And Bill Cosby had called the radio station, was like, if this airs on the radio, they're gonna be fired. He said, this better not air.
And so Bill Cosby said this. He should who?
He called the head of the radio station.
No. Okay, take it back. No, take it back some. The part about women being intoxicated. Who said that?
D.L. Hughley said that to Bill Cosby.
To Bill Cosby during the interview.
Yes.
And Bill Cosby then turned around and called them and said that that part of the interview is aired.
If that interview airs at all, there's gonna be some problems. So D.L. Hughley said that the people from the radio station came to him was like, if you air this, you will never work in radio again.
And so he never aired it.
He never aired it.
Because he needed his job.
That's right. And so that shows you.
Well, we already knew the power. But then not only back to what I said on
you know what time it is?
Does that mean what I think it means?
Yeah, we're gonna need a new ride.
Blame Land Band. Alright, Jay, just sell some old time.
Rated PG-13.
On Monday, but back to what people have been saying for the past year. What you just described is how D.L. Hughley was letting us know the power of Bill Cosby. This is the same thing that many of those accusers were saying when they came out last year. They said, listen, we are not just bringing this up in 2015. Some of us brought this up years ago. But because of the power of Bill Cosby, think about it. Bill Cosby ain't really been doing nothing for a while. But just think about when he was on TV. When the Cosbys was the #1 show on TV. These women said the same thing. Years ago, we were told this man is so big that nobody's going to believe that Bill Cosby did this to y'all, and you're just not going to win this case. D.L. Hughley basically confirmed what these women were saying. This is a powerful man, and some people you just can't knock down off the top. It's happening now, but some people at that time when Bill Cosby was at the height, you couldn't knock that man down. I would have been, if something like that, I'm just going to say, if something like that would have happened to me, and let's say a Bill Cosby at the time, I probably would have been so scared because I'm thinking like, who the fuck is going to believe me if I tell them that Bill Cosby raped me? They're going to laugh me out of the office and say, Bill Cosby raped you? And you know what's going to happen? Some people will say, well, what the hell did you do? Or why was you there? Or why did you take it? What people have been saying for the past year. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen, and that's what's been happening. And surprisingly, it's very surprising, you see a lot of females saying this. Surprising. Because I thought I would see a lot of men saying this about Bill Cosby, about these women. I see a lot of females saying to the women, well, why did you do this and why did you do that? And I was like, whoa, because I remember at a time when it used to be the men saying that to the females. Now it's gotten to the point where the females are saying it to other females. Well, why were you there and why did you let him? And it just goes to show you we are in a new day and age.
And I seen this old Twitter post that somebody posted on Instagram saying that, seeing what's going on with Bill Cosby, the same thing members that's kept quiet about things that happen to them, they are watching how you react to this, to other women out there. So, that's why, another reason why a lot of people are quiet, because nobody will believe them. And not just Bill Cosby, I'm pretty sure it goes on in the music industry too, with these popular artists, or, sometimes you'll hear like, oh, this person stole my song, and you're going to put it back. Ain't nobody trying to, it's like, that ain't your song, ain't nobody going to believe you, but you never know how some people really are. So it's just crazy. So, I'm just waiting to see I'm just waiting for this to go to trial so I can watch this. And I want to see how everything goes down. Like, I really, really can't wait to watch it. Because it's going to be the trial of our era. Like, back then, O.J. Simpson wasn't really my era. I was a child. So I can't really talk about that. But this right here, this is like the biggest trial that's about to go down. Because they really want Bill Cosby to go to jail for the crime, not only what he did with her, but it will satisfy the other women that came forward. It's kind of like, his karma for what he did, and this time we got a case that was within the statute of limitations. And, it'll be the karma for them, just like O.J. We all believe, well, some people believe that O.J. did it, and him doing that stupid shit in Las Vegas got him locked up in jail for like 30 years. So he didn't get caught for Nicole Brown Simpson, but he damn sure got caught for trying to rob the people that were selling this antique work. So, yeah. Next, Janet Jackson. So, before the New Year's started, Janet Jackson released a statement saying that she had to postpone the beginning of the second leg of her tour because she had to have surgery. Now, we all know that, during like October, November, some dates were being postponed due to her having, I said like a bone injury or something like that. So she was advised not to, do the shows and things like that. And she said, I won't talk about what's going on, but just pray for me and my family during this difficult time, yada, yada, yada. So, but she told people in the letter, keep your tickets because the dates will be rescheduled. So it's not like she was canceling. It's just I have a medical issue that I'm dealing with. So I was saying on Tuesday, there was this story from Radar Online saying that a source told them that Janet Jackson might have tumors growing on her vocal cords and that they could be cancerous. So she's not going to be, if they are cancer, she's not going to be able to sing again and do all this stuff, and she had to get all this shit done. So it was just like, that just don't sound right. And especially like a source. Like, we don't really hear anything on Janet Jackson. These past few years, we didn't even know she got married just to say, I've been married for a whole year. Like, none of this shit is getting out. No music didn't come out until she released it. Nothing. So I was just, I just like, this doesn't sound right. Just like she said, if it don't come from my lips, then damn it, it ain't true. So, I mean, the story just spread like wildfire, and people all around the world were talking about Janet having this, she might be having cancer, things like that. So it got to a point where Janet had to release a statement saying that she don't have cancer, and that, let me go to the full statement, because I think she probably already had surgery done, like, bitch, I'm clear to go back in March. The rumors are untrue. I do not have cancer. I'm recovering. My doctor, she's recovering, and she already had surgery. My doctors have approved my concerts as scheduled in Europe, and as promised, the postponed shows will be rescheduled. Thank you for your prayers and love. So, Janet Jackson will be back on tour at the end of March, and it's going to start in Europe. And then she's going to have to reschedule all of those dates from the beginning of this year, starting with Denver, and I believe, I don't remember where it ended at, but I know Philly is in there, so it'll probably be like during the summertime. And I've already got my tickets for the June 9th show, so I'm excited to go to that, and I'm glad that Janet is fine. But I wonder if these blogs can be sued for saying that a source put this out to them about someone, because that's just not right for her to go through that.
I mean, they've been, look how many sources have said stuff about Beyonce.
Like, this shit spread like, bitch, you talking about,
they do that about everybody.
Like, that's crazy.
Apparently they can't be sued. Because, like they said, they're not saying that they said it. They're saying that somebody told them. So I would imagine not. They can't be sued. Because that would mean that we would be sued. We're not saying something. We're just saying allegedly this is what we heard. So no, I don't think they can be sued. But I mean, they don't just say it about Janet Jackson. They say it about everybody.
Yeah, but this was just crazy how she had to be like, look, bitch, no, this is not true.
They all say that.
It's crazy.
How many stories have you heard about people in the media that wasn't true? Countless of stories. It's upsetting that they got a story like this regarding her health that wasn't true. Yeah, that's upsetting, but it's not the first time we've heard blogs report on something that wasn't true. Yeah, maybe. And did they ever apologize?
No. If it's a dating or a pregnancy rumor, okay. But when you come down to
that's not okay. No, that's not okay. You know why that's not okay? Because you're putting something out there that's false. So that's not okay. Whether I'm dating somebody and that's not true, or I'm pregnant and that's not true. That's not okay. You shouldn't put it out there at all.
No, you shouldn't. But I would rather hear that versus someone's health being invaded.
That's true.
That is crazy.
But at the same time, if it's not true, I don't want to hear it at all.
No, you're right.
I don't want to hear that at all. That's like somebody going around saying you date somebody that you know you don't date. Why are you saying that? That's not true. And I'm not going to laugh off like, that's okay, No, it's not okay. That's a lie. And if the wrong person hears that, I had to explain that to somebody today at work. You say something, you may not mean it, but if the wrong person hears it, or you say something, there can be consequences to that. So no, it's not okay to just say something out loud and think that, oh, well, then everybody should know that I'm just playing. No. You know what I mean? Like, you don't do that. And so, no, this is something totally isolated. But what I'm just saying is, it's not okay, whether you're dating or you're pregnant or, you got a new car, that's just not okay. It's not okay. And it's definitely not okay, because you know what happens is, this is what happens. People say stuff, and people who don't have minds, they believe it. And so you're sitting somewhere and you're hearing people talk about something that you know is not true, but they talk like it is true. You know what I mean? Like, no, so it's not okay to put anything out there that is false. Whether somebody has cancer, or somebody's dating somebody, or pregnant, or they got a new car and it's not true. If it's not true, then why are you putting it out there? Because you know what happens? That makes me not want to read your blog. Because you're not putting out correct information. God bless you.
I couldn't even get it on the I'm going to get on camera. So Well, yeah. So, Janet, get better. We'll see you on tour. And when she started the tour, please don't tell me about the new songs. Don't tweet me none of the videos. I want to be surprised. Damn it. I got 4 more months. I can wait. Well, 5 more months. I can wait 5 more months to go to the tour. I'll just make one more. Brandy's new show, Zoe Ever After premiered on BET on Tuesday. I think it's a cute little comedy for her, but this is not something I want Brandy to be doing in like 5 more years. Okay? This is cute for TV for right now. But
until she finds something else.
Brandy's acting is too serious for a show like this. Brandy should be doing movies. Okay? I want Brandy to be doing movies because it was one of the scenes where she was about to cry and the divorced husband was going through something. I was like, her acting is too good for him to be on the screen with someone like him. But it's a cute little kiki for right now. But Brandy, get us maybe 2-3 seasons and then come on, like no. But it was cute.
I didn't say that. He said.
I'm excited for the show.
But I get exactly what you're saying because sometimes you see people that you know are just a little bit too good for something, and you be like, why are you doing that? You know you're too good for that.
But it's good to see Brandy doing something that she loves, which is acting and having a job. And then right after that, like not only that, like her songs like be playing like during the show, like she be doing little songs and stuff. And then she released a song and she got her ex fiance together. Brandy, I didn't know that you had that in you. Like this is what we want to hear, that real shit, what's going down, but you put it in your music. Just like Adele do it, just like Janet do it, Mariah, those girls take that pen and they write their pain, and you should be doing the same thing. So I'm all here for Betty McLean. When they give me little Ray Charles Phil and everything, you didn't hear it yet, have you?
I haven't heard the whole thing, but I did text her about it, letting her know that was a good move to release that when it did. Okay, because you got your show on, and that's how you do it.
That's when comes to text me like, tell Brandy that I really love this.
You don't play no games when you put your work out there. Don't play no games. Okay? You gotta put yourself out there when people are talking about you.
And I think that assistant on the show, he's a kicker. He's a kicker. And again, this ain't nothing I want, like, like how the game don't all me enough. Brandy, do this for like 2-3 more seasons and then go get on. Stop playing. Get into that acting. Like, I want to see Brandy. Well, I want to see her more on Broadway. I would like to see her on Broadway, but I prefer movies. Someone like I prefer movies. But I did enjoy her on Broadway.
I mean, I see what you're saying as far as the movies, but the reason why I say Broadway is because Brandy is a powerful singer. And so, therefore, Broadway is, that's where you showcase your power and your acting at the same time. You know what I mean? You're showcasing your powerful vocals plus your acting side. And she was really good in Chicago. Like, she was really good.
And the dancing was everything.
Right. So I can see her going on to another show. And it may not even have to be a show that's already out that she signs on to. It could just be a new show that they're making. And hopefully somebody makes it and they see you in line for that role. But, I really think that with Broadway, she's one of those few singers that actually, if she did nothing else, I would keep going to go see you on Broadway because we already know that you'll kill it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah. But I totally get what you mean by acting and certain stuff. That's just like when I see certain people in certain movies and I be like, your acting's not even up to par to be on this cast. You know what? It's no shame, and I'm about to throw shade. I am about to throw shade, but it's no shade because I'm not gonna say no names. I'm not gonna say no names because I'm not gonna say no names. But there are a few people that are on the Empire cast that are too not equipped to be on a cast like that.
You said it plenty of times.
And I've said it plenty of times. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, go back to some of our own videos. But some people on the cast of Empire should not be on that show. Because some people, like for instance, for me, Taraji P. Henson is great. She brings it. You know what I mean? Terrence Howard, he's good too. He's not my favorite. He's definitely not my favorite. But Terrence Howard is good. He's proven himself. Some of the other people on Empire, and that doesn't mean that I'm knocking, Jamal or Andre or whatever the case may be with the other ones. I'm not knocking them, but I'm just saying, I'm not going to say no names. But some of the other people on Empire should not be on that show because to me, the script is just too. The acting and the other actors are just too much for them. Like, they can't keep that. So their acting comes off great, like they just stepped out of the screen test. They're talking. Like when Whitney Houston came back and when you were like, I'm not here for that talk singing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like they're talking, they're not acting. They're talking the words off that they read on the script. I'm not here for that. I'm here for acting. You know what I mean? And like I said, if y'all want to know what I'm talking about, go back to some of our old videos. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to say their name. You're on this video. This is all here.
Yes.
And I'm leaving my shady ways in the past.
All right. and just the update. Future and Sierra. No, make sure y'all watch Brandy on Tuesdays at 10 p.m. on BET. Future and Sierra, people talking about, we hearing these rumors that, okay, Future said that Sierra messed up his Christmas because baby Future was supposed to be there and all this and that. Again, keep this shit off of social media. Don't even talk about Sierra in your interviews. Like, just worry about you making that good music and putting that out there because this is just not right for your children. And all the negative things that you say when Sierra or if y'all go to court, Sierra will use all this against you, which makes you an unfit father. And she can put full custody of it. And you don't want that. You want some kind of, I hope they can come to some goddamn agreement.
Don't she already have full custody?
Right now.
He's saying that she's not allowing.
She's taking, it's probably not a court order custody, but she's taking on that role like I'm a single mom.
You don't have the taste for right now. This is so off subject. Oreo milkshake.
No.
From Nifty 50s.
I haven't been to Nifty 50s in a long time. They still open?
I feel like I'm pregnant. Like I just automatically started craving that. That's too far from me to drop that. I'm gonna drop that.
So what? The bookworm, right?
I'm not dropping over there. But that's not the great for it. I'm sorry, yo. I know that's totally off subject, but it just hit me.
You can also get an Oreo McFlurry from McDonald's.
No, I need an Oreo milkshake, not a McFlurry, a milkshake. And their McFlurries is nothing compared to Nifty 50s milkshakes.
But they do that.
And you know what Nifty 50s do? I'm sure McDonald's does this too, but Nifty 50s, they make the milk and it's so good. And then they put the whole Oreo in your milkshake, so you're digging out like
a whole Oreo cookie.
Yeah, the whole Oreo cookie because it's an Oreo milkshake.
I know that, but I'm talking about bitch. Don't do it. I'm too sick to be trying to fight and all that.
What kind of Oreo did you think? Because I told you they put the
crumbles in there.
No, they actually put the whole Oreo cookie in there. Like there's crumbles in it, but then there's the whole.
Just like they said, it's a strawberry yogurt with real strawberries in there.
And there's strawberries in there, right?
Sometimes, not all the time.
Well, see, I don't eat that thing. I don't eat yogurt, so I don't know.
I don't know. This is good. Yeah, we talked about that. So American Idol came on last night. I watched American Idol.
A new season?
The new season, brand new season of American Idol came on.
I didn't even.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
You can tell the last season.
Yes. So they acting like it's still American Idol, but you can tell that this show has lost its spark. But the main thing is, y'all gotta remember, American Idol is a show that creates stars. Because how many people have gained voice and what? You're right, and you don't even hear from them. You're right. You are right. So don't y'all sit there and read American Idol.
Because they did create stars. You're right about that.
Yes. So, it was good to watch. Some, like, I really was into some of the performances. Like, they didn't really, some people made a fool of themselves, but they really didn't, they're not really showcasing it. There was this one artist, this white guy, he was singing a song in some kind of way, but it was so powerful, but you wouldn't expect him to, like, come out with something like that. I like that. And I think he's going to be in the top 12 of American Idol. Then we had this couple up here. I'm not going to talk about the whole thing. They had this couple up there, husband and wife, or newlyweds, or whatever. So, she starts to sing first. He's holding the baby, playing, kissing the baby and everything.
Well, they still allowing that goofy stuff to go on?
Yeah. So
bringing props and shit in there?
So they was like, we're not doing it. It was just too much. Like, they told him it was too much. So then the husband started singing, He sounded terrible. And he got a golden fucking ticket, right? So then,
That's the problem that I have with them. So they get tickets to people who don't even sound good.
so he gets the golden ticket, and then you can tell that she's upset. Like, yeah, she's mad. So then they go out there to show off the tickets or whatever, and the family is kind of like mad that he got the ticket and she didn't. And then she want to say, but no, it was because you was playing around with the baby and everything. And I was like, oh my God, they're actually showing this on American Idol. Like, she was mad. So I was like, I wonder how long this relationship lasted. And, you know, this is the last season of American Idol. Then Kanye West came out, and Kanye did a little audition or whatever. It was cute.
Kanye West,
and Kim Kardashian was on there. Like,
it was like the judges. They showed up to audition.
Kanye came in like a little, what you call it, you know, like a little surprise. He surprised them and he performed on his older songs. And,
wait. Oh, and while they were doing the audition tapes,
yeah.
Was the judges shocked? Did they know they were going to be
They didn't know he was going to be there, so they was just shocked to see him and they was all laughing and stuff.
Where was the audition held at?
I think this was in San Francisco when Kanye was there. And Kim was out there, her belly, she had on this black dress. And
they kept that a secret.
No, they show. I've seen some clips of Kanye performing. You must haven't been watching Fox lately.
Yeah, I'm at work.
Yeah, but you know, and then Clay Aiken, he tried it.
He was there?
I mean, they were all, it was Clay Aiken, Taylor Hicks, Ruben Studdard, and I think some.
Why did they invite all these people for the first night?
They was just there for the audition process. Like, you know, people, they was giving out advice and everything. But Clay Aiken, like, he really went on Instagram and was just like, oh, I'm on Twitter, like, oh, I can see why the ratings of this show was so low. And the judges are terrible. Why would they let that guy go through? That sounded terrible. If Simon was still there, he would have ripped him to shred. Like, I haven't watched American Idol. You sound like you ungrateful or something. Like, don't come off like that. Talking about you haven't watched Idol in 10 years. Bitch, you're lying. I know you watched American Idol more times than that within 10 years. And like, he probably didn't like the process of what happened. Something else happened that he didn't like. Because clearly you came back. You've been on American Idol plenty of times since then. So don't act like, oh, I don't watch it. Oh, but you'll take advantage of being on TV. So, bye, Clay. What you about to say?
I mean, I was going to say I agree with you, what you're saying. But then, you know, it's not like he was lying.
Yeah. Don't come back to the finale, bitch. When they have the finale, don't show up. You don't even give him a ticket. Yeah, you don't watch.
Why would you go?
Shit. Yeah, you sure did. But it felt like he won the. Sure did. Ruben Studdard should have been a much bigger star.
I think Fantasia's the only black one who won that actually is.
Yeah.
You see. But Ruben, you don't see no more. What's the girl who won last year, the black girl?
Candace Glover.
Yeah, you don't know what
she had the lowest debut for I will see that. A winner.
And I mean,
They don't market them right. They don't. What happened, Idol?
They used to do the damn thing. They really did. After they won, you would see them everywhere. They would be performing on this morning show, that morning show, this evening show, that evening show. You saw them everywhere. Now it's like they win and you don't see nothing. You don't hear about them no more.
So I wouldn't even be that pressed to see who wins this year. But I mean,
who won last year?
This some guy. I don't remember his name.
I'm telling you,
I barely watched last year.
The worst thing they could have did was the worst thing that ever happened to American Idol was when Simon, Paula, and Randy left. Or when
They should have brought Paul and Randy and Simon back this season.
They should have been the last season.
Yeah.
I bet you those ratings would have went way up to the point where they were thinking, well, should we cancel or should we bring the people back? I mean, tell you something. What?
Yes.
I used to get my life watching the auditions long time ago, because that's when the auditions was really funny. But I got my life even more because just to look at the reaction from the judges, because it was a authentic and real reaction. Like, Simon was really confused, Paula was really high, and Randy was just silly. It was just authentic. It was real, and you knew she was high. What's she drinking in that cup?
Yeah, because the damn show was Coca-Cola.
No, it was not. And when they got to their arguments, they got to their arguments fast.
I miss that.
And when Simon would get up and leave because he was over, he would get up and walk out. Then he'd come back. It was good. I missed that too. But after they left, it was like, Randy stayed on for a few seasons, but it was like it wasn't the same when Paul and Simon.
I think they could have, if Mariah Carey would have been on there just by herself, I think she probably could have stayed on there.
Yeah.
But it's fine because you're talking about a veteran that knows what she's talking about.
Okay.
And I sit there and I see J-Lo, and people thought I was really being mean, but I'm dead serious. Do you wonder how it feels to be J-Lo to sit on that stage and their judging panel and see all the people that sing better than her, and she's in control of who can go through? I'm serious. I am so serious. Because I would want to know how to sing like that. Because then if you tell somebody no and they come for your singing, like, oh, it's the truth.
Can you imagine somebody telling her, well, first of all, you can't even sing. How dare you? No. I can't go. What you need to do is put your hands up. I don't want to see that.
Don't look. Sorry. I didn't know my onions was out.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, I like Jennifer Lopez.
I mean, Jennifer Lopez, and she's a beautiful woman. I like to look at her. But at the end of the day, American Idol is about vocal talent. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, but when I think of singers, I don't think of Jennifer Lopez in the least bit. She's a great actress, a singer, and she's a great entertainer.
Yes. I want to see her baby. I would love to see her.
But baby, I'm not listening. I don't want to hear you sing a ballad. There's no notes that are being hit. Like you said, if it was just Mariah and not Nicki and Mariah probably would have still been on. Because Mariah's voice is not the way it was years ago. But let's not act like Mariah didn't have a voice. Okay? She was the voice. Her and Whitney. Okay? Can you imagine if Whitney was on American Idol?
Oh, I would tune in every week. Because I know she's going to say something shitty.
Can you imagine if they hired Aretha Franklin to do American?
She needs to come back on the finale or during one of the weeks just to be there as a judge.
Can you? No, I would love to see her doing the auditions. She wouldn't be for that. No, excuse me. Hello. No, you have to go. Next. I don't have time for this. And I see her talking to the producers. No, I don't have time for this. You asked me to be a judge for singing. It's nothing. Can you imagine? What? And then be taken in the first every so often.
She would be just like how she was in that Snickers commercial.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, Aretha Franklin. After I watched American Idol, y'all have to watch American Crime because it's back for season 2 and they got a brand new story. And just to give you an idea on what the new story this season is, it's about rape in the locker room of the high school. Not in the locker room of high school, but the boys that play basketball, they're alleging that Virginia King's son that's on the show raped this guy. And Andre 3000, he's the father on the show. So it's good. All the people that were there last season, they came back for this season. What's the show called? It's called American Crime. It just the new season started last night, so y'all can catch it on ABC.
I wonder if it's on Netflix.
Yeah, you can watch it. You can watch it on Hulu.
I don't have Hulu. Oh, I wonder if it's on. It should be on demand.
Yeah, you can watch it on regular.
Last season too. Right?
Probably. They might have the whole season.
What is it called? American Crime?
American Crime. It is good.
Was last season good too?
Yes. Last season it was about, it was like, well, it was good about Virginia King won an Emmy. I believe she won an Emmy for her role on the show. It's an hour-long show.
Yeah. See, those type of shows I like. You know what I mean? Not that goofy shit. Was she playing detective or something?
She played a Muslim woman last season.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, so it's the same people, but they play different characters.
Mm-hmm.
Every episode?
No, every season.
Because the same season last year she was.
Yeah, it's just like how American Horror Story.
I don't watch the show, but I see what you get it.
I'm not into the blood, so I can do it with storyline.
You know what, to be honest with you, the reason why I don't watch American Horror Story is because even when I was younger, I was never into movies that had vampires. They're just never into
vampires, blood, gore.
I have a problem with blood. But that vampire stuff, it doesn't excite me. Like scary movies with vampires that don't excite me.
But see,
I need to see somebody stabbing somebody.
They do all of that, and I can't get into that.
I can't get into that.
Like, I was sad to see Lady Gaga doing it, and she got nominated for a Golden Globe. But I just was like, no, this is not for me. Some things are just not for everybody. Even if Janet Jackson was in the horror.
I saw an episode. I saw 2 episodes of Charles Monday because they were all watching it. Jeremy all was watching. And I was just like watching it, and it's real weird, like how it plays out. It's a real weird show. And I'm watching them, and they talk, and I'm like, y'all really like this show? Because I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I don't see nothing that's catching my interest. But people love it. So if y'all love it, then hey. But my type of shows are first 48-hour type shows. You know, when somebody killing somebody, and I gotta find out who killed the person. That's that show I like. All that vampire shit, save that for the next person.
I'm trying to get into 48 hours, but 48 hours. What you say it was called?
The next 48. I did say for the next 48 hours. I can say it's called the next 48.
Yeah, but I watch Snap and the Killer Couples and all of that shit. Like on a good Sunday, y'all know they always had a Snap marathon. I love those shows. I love them because those women, they just be crazy. And they be killing their men for the money, insurance money, and giving the money to certain killers and stuff, and doing whatever they want to do with the money. Like, oh, yeah.
What's the name of the show with Virginia King?
American Crime.
I'm gonna text it to myself because I will get home and I'll forget.
Yes, American Crime. Don't forget. So, in our last topic discussion, is President Obama. He was on television 2 days ago. Was it today? Yeah, Tuesday. He was on TV on Tuesday. Talking about his executive orders for new gun laws here in America on how to obtain guns, who will be responsible for selling certain guns, and things like that. And, you know, he got very emotional talking about the children that died in the same elementary school killing 3 years ago. This is my thing. I feel that Obama should have been put in place an executive order since, you know, nobody can get along. He had to do what he had to do. I think this should have been happening. I don't think this should come in your final year of your term. This should have happened maybe 2-3 years ago. Or maybe once he realized, once I won this election, goddammit, here are the new things that we're going to do here. Because we don't have too many massacres, too many mass shootings. We have too much going on. People getting guns and you know, and not right in their head, mental health. You know, and they're going around killing people. This stuff should have been in place a long time ago. But you know, I'm glad that he's finally doing something, and that he has his idea in place. Some people say, oh well, he can't do this and he can't do that. But look, somebody is trying to do something. I'm so tired of these Republicans getting on TV saying, no, I want to update Obamacare. We don't need gun control. We don't need this. We don't need that. And nobody is up here offering a solution to these problems that the president and everybody else is trying to fix. So, you know, it just gets frustrating to see. And now that we're really getting into that presidential stretch, because now we got the caucuses coming up for all the different states, and like we are really it's either gonna be like Hillary, Donald Trump, Ted Cruz. It's just so much going on. But I just feel like Obama should have been put in some executive orders on these gun laws. But I think that they're great. And what I'm seeing the Republicans say all the time is, oh, they're taking the guns away. Oh, they want to get rid of the Second Amendment. Nobody is trying to get rid of the Second Amendment. What they're trying to do is put in laws on new laws on the Second Amendment. Because, come on, man, how old is the damn Constitution? Isn't the first, not the Constitution? The Bill of Rights is old as shit. Then you do have the right to bear arms, but come on now, how many different kind of guns do you need to bear? That's what I'm trying to say. There's no reason that you need it.
United States Constitution.
It's in the United States Constitution.
Go ahead.
What's the reason for having all these semi-automatic weapon guns? Saying, oh, I need these. You don't need all of those fucking guns. You don't need that. If you want to protect yourself, protect yourself. Nobody has an issue with that. But too many people are going around killing people with semi-automatic weapons. And we do need to put a control on that. So go ahead.
Well, what I was, yeah, you were pissed off. And I just want to clarify things. One of the things that President Obama is doing is not trying to change or add stuff to this Second Amendment. When you said, because how old it is, and, that's not what he's trying to do. He's not trying to change anything to the Second Amendment. Because the Second Amendment, it gives, us all the right to bear arms, which is fine. I don't have any problem with that either. What President Obama is basically trying to do is, listen, I don't want to take guns away from anybody. What I want to do is, I want to make it tougher for people to get guns, because certain people that are trying to get guns, or that may get guns, may be getting guns for the wrong reasons. So I want us to have this background check so that everybody is being checked when they go to more people. We have gun shows all throughout this country, on a yearly, every year. CNN did this report the other day, and they were at this gun show. I think it was Jake Tapper. I think that was his name. I may not be, maybe, but one of the reporters was at a gun show, and so he was asking the sellers at the gun show, how they feel about President Obama trying to, and of course, they all were against it. And so he was talking to some of the sellers, and he was saying, President Obama wants to make sure that people who are trying to get guns, that they have a background check so that if anything happens, they, come up with a system. And they were like, well, we already have background checks, this, that, third. And he was like, that's fine. But not everybody at gun shows does it. And he came across two sellers who sell guns, and they were like, well, no, we don't do background checks. And those are the people that on camera. And those are the people, because you can sell a gun, you can do that. That's not illegal. He said he went to, he said, so why do you, feel like, how do you determine who it is that you want to sell a gun to if you're not doing a background check? And both of these men said, well, we go off of our gut instincts. And he said, your gut instincts. And they said, yeah, we go off our gut instincts. If we just feel as though, mind you, that's the same thing I did. If I was in my bed watching this, like, oh my God, are they for real? Yeah, they were. And they said, yeah, we feel we get a bad vibe from you, essentially, then we're not going to take guns. So the guy said to them, well, me, if you see somebody like me come up to you and want to sell a gun, would you sell a gun? Buy a gun, would you sell a gun to me? And one of the guys said, yeah, I would sell a gun to you. And so he said, well, why would you sell it to me? He said, because you have an honest face. And I'm listening to this, and I'm like, see, these are the people that the president's trying to target. Stop these type of people from selling guns to the wrong people. It ain't the fact that he's trying to stop guns. The problem with the Republicans as well is President Obama is trying to put a more leaner way on how you can purchase guns, where Republicans, they feel as though we already do background checks and we already got this in control. Don't worry about us. What you need to be worried about, Mr. President, is the mental health state of these folks who are named guns. And the president's stance to them is, yes, we are working on that, but at the same time, we need to make sure that these guns are not getting in the wrong hands of the wrong people. But the Republicans are making it seem like, oh, you just want to stop us from purchasing guns altogether. And that's not what the case is. The problem is the Republicans don't want to be told what to do. These gun owners don't want to be told what to do. Nobody wants to be told what to do. You know what I mean? And my thing is, you know what bothers me? Let me just say something. Donald Trump is a kid. He really is a kid. He's a kid. He's an idiot, but he says some funny stuff out of his mouth that you be like, whoa, this man is really, really stupid. But one of the things that irritates me when listening to Donald Trump talk about gun control is when he always says, and I've actually seen a few people agree with Donald Trump on this on social media, when Donald Trump always says, if those teachers in the school in Sandy Hook, or those people that were in San Bernardino, if they had guns, then they would have been able to fight people back, and then half these people wouldn't have been dead. And I say to myself, Donald Trump, how and where did you come up with that conclusion? It doesn't make sense. That's what I'm trying to figure out. How fast do you think these people, why would you want a teacher to have a gun in a classroom with students? I understand your theory, Donald Trump, that you want the teachers to be able to protect the students. But do you really want a gun in the classroom with your child? That's what armed security guards are for. Am I right or am I wrong? That's what that's for. I don't want, this is not 1876, Donald Trump. This is 2016. We don't do the shootouts in the Wild Wild West and all that, and then whoever, you know, then they're the victim. We don't do that.
About shootings back and forth. You don't hear about like us.
Right. We don't do that, Donald Trump. This isn't that time. So I understand that you want people to be able to protect themselves. I get it. But the way you're saying that people should go about doing it is dead wrong. You think that if these teachers in Sandy Hook or these teachers at all these other schools or the people in Paris who were out to dinner, if they had guns, then they would have been able to protect themselves? Maybe or maybe not. If I'm sitting there having dinner with somebody, I'm not thinking about making sure I got my hand on my gun just in case somebody run up and shoot me. Somebody's going to shoot me before I even think about reaching for my gun. If I'm teaching my classroom a bunch of first graders, I'm not thinking about staying near my desk just in case somebody run in here and I gotta grab my gun. No, they gonna run in here and shoot me, they gonna shoot me, and I ain't gonna have time to run to my desk to get to my gun. So I don't understand your theory, Donald Trump. I just don't understand that. We want to eliminate stuff like this, not add fuel to the fire, and that's what that's doing, adding fuel to the fire. And there are some people who agree with Donald Trump, because I've seen it on social media, where certain people have told me, no, I agree, we should have guns, people should be able to bear arms, but to take it into a classroom and just have a shootout, if I'm a parent, and I'm sending my child to school, the last thing I want to hear is that there was a teacher and a person in there. Now, I'm happy that the teacher's trying to protect my child, but at the same time, do I really want it to be a shootout? Because the teacher's bullet may accidentally shoot my child. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, it doesn't, we have to think before we say certain things. Do you really want it to be a shootout? I don't want it to be a shootout. I want to shoot. And one of the people didn't even want to carry a gun. But it doesn't make sense. Some of the stuff that, not only Donald Trump, but some of the stuff that these people are saying out here. Like, I would never want it to be a full-blown shootout between people back and forth. Listen, we live in a different era. Times have changed. I am all for having armed security guards in schools so that people who come in there, they got to go through them guards first before they can go anywhere else. And I don't mean having armed security guards with rifles and Uzis. No, I don't mean any of that. I mean having an armed security guard to make sure that when people come in there to check out a child or to bring a child, take a child home, we make sure the right people are coming through those school doors. No, a gun does not need to be in the classroom. It does not need to be in the classroom. Can you imagine a teacher in high school has a gun and a student knows that teacher has a gun and they run up there and start shooting the classroom up? Then what? People will say, well, why was there a gun in the classroom? We got to be a little bit more smart. And sometimes we have to think about what's being said rather than, we got to think about the message rather than criticizing the messenger. And you guys, and not you guys, but maybe some of you, but the people out there that are criticizing President Obama on his gun, I think they're missing the message. And they're missing it because they don't like the messenger. They don't like the messenger. So they're missing the point. And I agree with you. President Obama should have done something a little bit sooner rather than waiting until the last year of his office. But you know what? I'm glad that he's doing something. I'm glad that he's doing something. Yes, we can all debate whether or not he should have done it a little bit earlier. Yes, we can debate that. But I'm glad he's doing something. I would have liked for this to happen right after them kids got killed in that school.
Yes. Like, because that's what we come under that.
How more people, that would have made me say, you know what, something has to be done today. When that man went in that school and
they did try. They did try, and they couldn't come to an agreement on that. They can't never agree. Ever since Obama got into the office, they can't agree on shit. And they always want to turn it. They couldn't wait to 2010, because then we all want to go to the
That's why we have to make sure this year in 2016, we get up and vote. You know why? Because if they get a Republican in office, Obama, they're going to make sure they're going to try to repeal Obamacare. They're going to make sure anything that has to do with this gun law stuff, they're going to try to change it because they keep everything the same. We have to make sure we get out there and vote in November. Okay? We cannot allow somebody to be in office that's just going to allow stuff like this to continuously happen. And then when you call them out on it, then they see, or they don't see anything wrong. They think the solution is more people should have more guns. That's basically what Donald Trump is saying. More people should have more guns. It doesn't make sense. So please, y'all, make sure y'all get out there and vote. Make sure you get out there and register. Okay, you have plenty of time to get out there and register if you are 18 or older. If you are 18 or older, there's no reason why you shouldn't be registered to vote. That's not my business, though. But if you need to register to vote, you do. And when November comes, election day, I'm gonna make sure I pull up the date right now for y'all. Okay? Because it's November. I gotta see what date that is. November 8th. November 8th is election day when we elect our next president. Make sure you get out there and vote, okay? Because they're going to try to repeal all that stuff that President Obama has worked hard to get passed in these past 8 years. So you have to make sure you guys go out there and vote.
And I'll vote for you guys to have a great weekend. See you guys on Monday.